Yesterday, the FBI alleged it had foiled an Iranian terror plot, but the main suspect has been in custody since September. So why did the Department of Justice wait until now to announce this threat? Is it mere coincidence, as it comes at a time when House Republicans, as you've just heard, subpoenaed the head of the Justice Department, Attorney General Holder himself, for his marred gun-running program, Operation Fast and Furious, which, as you know, let military-grade weaponry get in the hands of Mexican drug gangs? Or is there another explanation for this curious announcement that Mr. Holder made yesterday? Joining us by phone from Virginia is retired Army Lieutenant Colonel Anthony Shaffer. Colonel Shaffer, it's always a pleasure. Welcome back to Freedom Watch.
Thank you for having me, Judge. Sorry I can't be there.
As are we, but we appreciate you picking up the phone and calling us. What is your take on this alleged terror plot involving Iran? Is this the way the Iran intelligence agencies usually operate, engaging with somebody they thought were involved with Mexican drug gangs to assassinate a Saudi Arabian ambassador in a public restaurant in New York or Washington?
Well, it's a long way to get to a much easier target in other places, and no, I don't think so. And obviously, I've interrogated the Iranians. It's two chapters of my book, Operation Dark Heart, are dedicated to this, and that's what makes me think twice about this. The American that they're accusing here, Judge, was true enough. He has a dual passport, Iranian-American, but frankly, my experience has been directly that these people love being here. Once they're here, they love being here. And the idea of this guy, all of a sudden, after years being a successful, by all accounts, a successful used car salesman in Texas, part of the community, I would think it would be very difficult to imagine him just all of a sudden deciding that he's going to go against everything he's done for the past, for the past 15 years to do this. It does not smell correctly at this point in time.
All right. Well, give me, if you would, your best estimate as to what does spell correctly. For example, is it possible that this Iranian-American is a double agent who wanted to trick the government of the United States of America into taking some action against Iran? Is it likely that the FBI concocted this whole thing, and because it was a sting, nobody was ever in danger? There was never a real plot. This guy was plotting with FBI agents who he thought were Mexican drug lords. What does Colonel Shaffer think really went down here?
I think that's part of it. I think the reason it came out now is literally this is red meat to a bunch of lions. I think this is why they threw it out now at this point, not in September. Secondly, yeah, the FBI has had a record lately, and I did talk to one of my inside guys today, and he is saying that he thinks the same thing. You know why? Because he can't find any real information, and he's got a clearance. So that tells him that there's something going on that's extraordinary by the fact that he's an inside, investigator, knows what's going on, and yet, and I'm going to quote here, there's nothing on this within the DOJ beyond what they've talked about publicly, which means to him there's something very wrong with it.
Look, the United States used failed and flawed intelligence to attack Iraq in 1991 and in 2003. Is there the danger that we might use something as preposterous as this plot, which was created and run and controlled by the FBI that was announced yesterday, as a basis for invading the country of Iran, which, as you know, a lot of neocons in this country have been itching to get us to do?
Right. I got to tell you, I do believe the Iranians do pose a threat. However, I agree with you on this. There's no reason to believe at this point that the intel is there to justify a direct military action. So what we need to do here is look much deeper at this beyond what's been put out there. Frankly, Judge, they've got to come clean on this. They've got to actually announce the details of the investigation. And frankly, I think the real issue is it goes back to the southwest border. I mean, if these guys were going in and out, the Iranians were moving in and out of the border, southwest border, we need to look at that again, and not only from the perspective of Fast and Furious, but what else is actually going on.
Precisely. Colonel Shaffer, it's a pleasure. These are unpleasant things we talk about.
They are.
But we commend you for weighing in on them. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, sir.
It's a rage against the machine.